Biden to Kabul attackers, "We will hunt you down and make you pay. We will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay," Biden said in early evening remarks from the White House, hours after the Pentagon said 12 service members had been killed in 2 separate suicide blasts outside the airport gates. Shortly after Biden spoke, U.S. Central Command announced an additional U.S. service member has died, with a total of 18 wounded. 10 Marines were among the 13 service members killed. Now, in addition to evacuating thousands of people who desperately want to leave Afghanistan, Biden has tasked the military with another mission, hunting down and punishing the ISIS terrorists who killed Americans and scores of Afghan civilians. They must conduct both missions under the very present threat of further attacks, which military leaders said earlier could come in vehicles or by rocket at any moment. Biden pledged on Thursday to continue the airlift, which he still says will conclude by next Tuesday, a self-imposed deadline for withdrawing all U.S. troops from the country. He said terror attacks are a principal reason he sought to limit the duration of the evacuation mission. "If we can find who is associated with this, we will go after them," he said. "We are working very hard right now to determine attribution, to determine who is associated with this cowardly attack, and we are prepared to take action against them." Over the past days, the risks of a terror attack at the airport seemed to grow by the hour. The extremely high threat from ISIS caused the US, along with the UK and Australia, to warn people to move away from the airport gates late Wednesday Eastern Time. The risk of potential terror attacks from the Islamic State affiliate operating in Afghanistan worried American and Western officials from nearly the moment it became clear that the Taliban would take over the country on August 15. Once crowds began massing at the Hamid Karzai International Airport, the fear among officials monitoring the situation became acute of an attack meant to create mayhem and fear among those trying to escape the country. That is what happened on Thursday. McKenzie said he suspected a suicide bomber was being searched by American servicemen at the airport before detonating the explosive. The attacks quickly consumed Biden's schedule. He was in the basement situation room with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley for a pre-scheduled briefing when first word of the blasts arrived. Aides were still taking their seats when the first reports came in. Vice President Kamala Harris also took part in the meeting via video conference while she was in the air traveling between Vietnam and Guam. She cancelled a planned campaign appearance in California and will instead return to Washington. "We're also keeping a close watch on any potential terrorist threat at or around the airport, including from the ISIS affiliates in Afghanistan who were released from prison when the prisons were emptied," he said. On Tuesday, explaining his decision to stick with an August 31 deadline for withdrawing all U.S. troops from the country, Biden offered a more dire picture of the security threat. This story has been updated with the death of a 13th U.S. service member.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe